So before I go to the stocks, I will now talk about the sectors, and then I will add stocks also. So FMCG is one sector which will not get impacted much, because these are essentials. Except for few things, they all FMCG companies, they have cash in their balance sheet. This is a crisis period now where things are not moving, but due to uh, what to say, online shopping like a Big Basket or your Amazon, people are, the FMCG companies are able to sell their product. And ITC, did an innovative thing. They started having cities like Mumbai and other places. So I think people who were in uh, home delivery, they have benefited. So many people have changed their product line also. Social distancing and your soap, your sanitizer. No, so FMCG companies have done very good. And because people cannot go to a restaurant or go out, what has happened is Britannia and Nestle, which are there in the packaged food, they have benefited more. So this is about FMCG. In gold financing, now finance positive on banks or NBFC, because 6 months moratorium we have never seen in our lifetime. And after 6 months, we don't know which company is alive and which company cannot come back. So gold financing, gold is a security. So there, I think the margin of safety is very high. So if I have to be in one sector in financing, it will be gold financing. So next is exchanges, BSE, NSE, CDSL, NSDL, MCX. There was no stoppage in spite of COVID, in spite of the closures which happened. These sectors were never impacted. So these companies will perform normally. IT, now IT is one sector where I don't see a major impact. And now today we have US election, which will be in November. And if the new, if there is change in guard, it will be even positive for Indian IT companies. So we need to, any correction will be an opportunity to buy Infi, TCS, LTI or Tata Elxsi, Mindtree, these kind of companies. It is very good. And one company which has grown irrespective of what has happened is telecom. There are only two major players. One is Reliance, other is Bharati Airtel. And Reliance has doubled from recent March lows. It was almost 900 rupees. Today we are above 1,800. So in last 3 months, the stock has doubled, but Bharati Airtel has not done very well. But now they have bought one company called OneWeb in UK. That company filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So they have taken 45% stake, and UK government has taken 45% stake. What is the benefit of that is they have already launched 70 satellites, and they'll be launching another 100 satellites. So to the remote places, Bharti Airtel is there in Africa and India. For remote places, they can give connectivity without laying cables and without having towers. So that will save huge costs for them. So I don't know how, it is early stage, the deal has been done 2-3 days back, but how it will happen. But the telecom is one segment where you had too many players, and now it has come to two major players. Normally in any business, top two players take the maximum market share. The other players have just 20 or 15% market share. In telecom, it is going to be Jio and Bharati Airtel, and leaders takes it all. So I think these two players, I think a lot of potential is there. And if you have seen the telecom rates, it has almost doubled in many segments. the prepaid rates have doubled in the last 3 months. That is something very interesting. Pharma, I like companies which have their own API or which are slightly different. Biocon, which is there in biosimilar, is something we can add. Previously, I mentioned about Divi's Lab, Ipca Lab. There is Dr. Reddy also, which has their own API. So any company which has their own API is something we need to look at it. So sectors to avoid for time being is hotels. Now hotels will take time to come back, because I don't think COVID is going to go away in a hurry. So hotels will take time. Airlines, with the social distancing, I don't think the travel industry will be the same. So previously I was traveling to do a lot of my events. Today I can do using Zoom or some other application. I'm able to connect with people across India. So I don't think traveling to get back to that same level, it will be easy. So travel as an industry, we tell people to avoid. Let it be airport, let it be airlines. No, they are high debt and it is very difficult to manage. Real estate is one more, because everyone is thinking about how to work from home. At least a portion of my employees should work from home. And even malls, people want to get out of malls, because again getting back business to the old level will be very difficult. And other sector is multiplex, where PVR and Inox, they had a dream run. So that is one sector. People now are using other OTT platform. So that is one which is going to be very difficult. And tourism, it will take time. And even if it happens, it is not going to come back to near normal in 2-3 years. So anything connected with tourism, one should avoid. Power sector, the pain is going to be very big. So I am not very comfortable with power sector. Maybe a Torrent Power can be exception, but these are high debt companies. At this point of time, high debt companies should be totally avoided. We need to be with companies where they run asset light model, where their expenses are within control, so that even after 6 months, 1 year, when the economy bounces back, they would be in a position to expand and come back to normal. Infra is one space, except for L&T, I'm not comfortable. Because it is high debt, and with the government having a lot of physical constraint, how they will spend a lot of money there, I don't know. So we need to be careful in infra. We need to be very selective in that sector. So in NBFC, I would totally avoid. I'm not. I have a very negative view on NBFC, because after 6 months of moratorium, now how much is going to be the payment, nobody knows. And we are in an uncertain time. So in banking, I will select the top 5 or 6 banks. So I've given you State Bank of India, which has 23,000 branches, and which has which controls almost 22% of the loan book of India, on banking loan book. So that is one, but I'm not a very big fan of PSUs. So I like HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Kotak Bank, Axis, and IndusInd Bank as a top 5 private banks. But Bandhan Bank can be a dark horse. Why? Because they have one of the best NIMs, net interest margin, because they come from a MFI sector, microfinance segment to bank. They have one of the best margins. And if you see the deposit growth also, it has been one of the best. So this is one stock you can watch, but I will not be in a hurry to buy any banks. It is like a SIP I will do for 2-3 years, and slowly I will accumulate, because there are going to be pain points. And when the pain point comes after 6 months, once all these moratorium is over, then we will understand how much pain is there in this sector. Auto is one sector which can have a positive impact. Now they are facing trouble. 250 people have been infected in Bajaj Auto Aurangabad facility, and labor union is saying close down. So there is irregularity in the production. Even Maruti management has said that. But if I have to understand it better, now people will not use public transport. They would like to have a private mobility because of the COVID, the social distancing. So two-wheelers is one segment which will do very good. Anybody who wants to travel, he will go for an entry-level two-wheeler or he will go for an entry-level car. So in that, Maruti also fits the bill. But commercial vehicles will be a washout. So I don't like Tata Motors or Ashok Leyland. So I like Hero Motor or Maruti, Bajaj Auto. But Bajaj Auto, they have a problem now. So I would wait and buy. But Hero Motor and Maruti, slowly I will buy. It is not that immediately they will take off. There is whatever demand we have seen is pent up demand, but after which I see slow demand pickup, and till they don't produce at 1,20,000 vehicles in a month, it is going to be very difficult. They were nearly 50,000 vehicles, so getting back to 1,20,000 or 1,40,000 is going to be very slow process. So I will not be in a hurry to buy Maruti in that. Hospitals and path lab, they have gone through a tough period because of COVID. So many hospitals, they never entertained other patients. So they said, we will treat you at home, or emergency treatment we will give, but other things have been postponed. And now Apollo Hospital, yesterday or day before yesterday, they got an approval for one cancer institute which is coming in Chennai, which is one of the kind in Asia, in the South Asia. So I think that will be a booster for Apollo Hospital. But these are long-term investment. So I think hospitals and even path labs, Lal Path Lab, Metropolis, these are good companies, and any good correction could be an opportunity to buy here. So life insurance, this is one company where you can buy as a SIP from now on. Last 17 years, they have been growing at 15% CAGR. Any company which grows at certain capacity, that is where we need to look at it. So 15% CAGR means in 5 years it will double. If you are going to get compounded 15% interest, it doubles more even earlier because it is monthly or quarterly compounding. But if it is a yearly compounding, in 5 years it will double. So and if somebody is growing at 25%, it doubles in 3 years. So this is power of compounding. So insurance, life insurance sectors, these three which I have put it here, HDFC Life, SBI Life, ICICI Pru, they are growing at 15% plus. But this year the growth will not come due to the COVID-19. But I think once we come out of this, people will again get into life insurance and the growth will be back on track. And these three companies have their unique advantage. HDFC Life has the highest margin. SBI Life has 23,000 branch franchisee. Their State Bank of India is having 23,000 branches. ICICI Pru, it is one of the largest in the private insurance segment. So they maintain a leadership position, and three of them have the bank assurance. So I think these three exchanges, anyway, I've said CDSL has become the biggest depository, overtaking NSDL during the lockdown. So that is where CDSL has started to perform. I feel very soon NSE will come with a public issue. So that will benefit BSE and CDSL also. So it is because of the comparative valuation which they will put. If NSE comes with a IPO, I think we need to apply there. So that is going to be one good IPO there. Yesterday, one data came. The fertilizer sales are up more than 68%. And in any bad period, I have seen in 2000, 2003, it was one of the worst bear market in India, where it took 3 years. During that time also, fertilizer was one sector which is performing. So if you take Coromandel, even in this fall, it never corrected and it is at all-time high. The rally is again at all-time high, and I think these stocks from current level also will give you 50% return in next 2-3 years. So no, this is something somebody looking at short term, no, less than 3 years can look at it, and the data is in in few agrochemical segment, the sales has been double. So I think where Coromandel, Dhanuka, and PI are there, now the sales have doubled. So I think from Monday onwards itself, you will see a rally in these stocks. So telecom is one segment. Even Bharati Airtel at current level, it looks attractive. So somebody looking at 1-2 year can slowly buy Bharati Airtel. So chemicals, because of the Chinese taxes and other things, chemical as a segment will do very good. We like specialty chemical, but Gujarat Alkali and Sudarshan Chemicals in normal chemical segment are doing very good, and their components are used in disinfectants. So that is where I think they will start to do well. But anything PSU, I have a slight dislike, because if you take a HDFC Bank, the CEO has been there for more than 25 years. But in PSU Bank, you have only 2-3 years. So that is where their focus, or they come before retirement. So they are not focused as a private company. That is where the performance of PSUs are not done good. But PSUs, if you take the business model, it is one of the best. But if you have a good leader, then the profitability will be even better. But now Gujarat government says it wants to disinvest in all Gujarat government companies. So how far it is true, I don't know. If that happens, these stocks will do very good. Rating companies, they will not get majorly impacted. And because of ILFS crisis, already these companies are corrected. So CRISIL is the leader. So I will stick with the leader. So defense PSUs, now government has started to spend a lot of money here. So BEL, which has almost 52,000 crore order book. If you see their execution, it is only 12,500 crores. So 4x is the visibility, and with government trying to improve their defense spend, because we are logged with two enemies, Pakistan and China, in the border. So we need to scale up our this thing. BDL will benefit more, because short range missiles and other things, BDL produces it. Hindustan Aeronautics, it is okay. I'm not too bullish about it, because previously Rafale deal, and they getting manufactured or assembled in India was the story where HAL was doing very good. But Cochin Shipyard and even L&T are few stocks where defense spending will start to support, and we need to spend in defense, and there is no way. So I think defense related companies from here on will start to perform. Specialty chemical, these are a few stocks which will become evergreen in next few years, because we would like to have alternatives to what China is doing. So in that, Vinati, the management in television said that we will start to do a backward integration so that we don't import anything from China. If that happens, all these specialty chemicals, the foreign orders are also started to improve, because they also want to de-risk away from China. So I think Indian specialty chemical is one sector which is looking good. Aarti Industries, Vinati Organic, SRF, Deepak Nitrate are few companies in that. And there are few consumer stock. They are going through pain now, but in a long term, they have a unique market for them. Asian Paints, they control 70% of the paint market. So the crisis is the best period to buy them. And when the economy starts to pick up, because they will be the first company to bounce back faster. DMart has got enough cash. Now they are not doing good because of social distancing and other things. But if DMart corrects, I said, power of compounding. Any company which can grow at 25%, is likely to take, no, is likely to double in 3 years. So DMart has been growing at 25%, but now I feel there will be a degrowth in this 2021 FY21. But that is okay. That is a period we need to buy. So if the stock corrects till 1600 or 800, it would be a good opportunity to buy. Trend is a Tata Group company. They hold Westlife. Now, in women ethnic wear, Trend has the better place in market share, and they have diversified into third, uh, smaller cities also, and that is going to be the advantage. So I think Westlife or Trend, uh, that is going to do very good. Westlife is McD franchisee, so they have in South and North India franchisee of McDonald's. So they also, once the people starts to move out, then they also will recover very fast. In metal and mining, JSW Steel, Tata Steel, and Hindalco are the market leaders, and I feel these companies will do good. Hindalco, I was reading the balance sheet. Now they have even fertilizer unit, 4 lakh metric ton of diammonium phosphate (DAP) they produce, and even in chemicals they are there. So I think they are byproduct of aluminium. This thing, so Hindalco has an advantage there, and globally also they are spread well. And anyway, banking, all these 5 banks have talked about it. So oil and gas, oil is something I'm totally avoiding, because we are not in a comfortable zone with oil prices coming to $30. No, it is not going to be easy for people to make money. ONGC or Oil India, they have totally down and gone. And even oil marketing companies, more taxes are levied. So I think with we need to have high margin, high ROE companies. So in that space, IGL, MGL, and Petronet, if market corrects, these are better companies to buy. And L&T, which is a mega company, that is one which will do very good. Tata Chemical, even Tata Consumer will do very good, and others. So this is IT. This is my last sector and stock presentation. So TCS, Mindtree, Infosys, Tata Elxsi, LTI, and you can add Wipro also. Wipro, there is a change in management, and the new management has been there for almost 25 years. So Wipro needed someone like that, and now they have got it. So for a long-term investor, IT is one sector where it will do very good. So we need to buy stocks where they are very agile, and any new segment which comes, they can move. TCS has been generating the highest margin in this IT sector, so TCS is my top pick. But I like LTI and Mindtree also. Tata Elxsi is a unique company, driverless car and other things. They are working on, and if anything clicks, it will be a major beneficiary. So there are we are coming to the near end of my presentation. So Warren Buffett is the guru when it comes to fundamentals or stock picking. So he has said many things. So when how to survive in the market, he says when things are very bad, you need to know how to hide. Now you have to know you cannot fight the dragon. Now we are it is a liquidity driven rally. So people are criticizing Warren Buffett, saying that he has missed this rally, but I don't feel so. For his experience, he has seen many things in last 90 years, and he has his own wits. In 2008 crisis, when the crisis was at the peak, he was one person who went and bought Goldman Sachs and many things. But now same Goldman Sachs and other companies he has sold. That means it is not something which is very good for us. So we need to preserve cash. And we all, many, see, I have been interacting for almost 25 years now with investors and traders. Many times we don't take losses. Now we feel, no, this company, it was at 1,000, it was at 500, now it is only 5 rupees. How much low it will go down? But, for example, Jet Airways, the company is gone, so there is no use holding it. So no, we need to move on. If no, he says if the boat is leaking, it is no use trying to repair it. You have to jump and you have to find a new boat. So in investment also, if the technology is becoming obsolete, I would say a small story here. Kodak. No, today what we use, the cameras which is digital in our mobile, it was discovered or first invented by Kodak, because their film business or the paper business for that film or print was doing very good. They didn't want to disclose it. Now later, in 1998, they were one of the major players. One of the best employees in the world. 1998. But in 2003, they had to file a bankruptcy because that technology went obsolete. So there are many times that our stock doesn't perform for multiple reasons. One could be government, the other government rules and regulation. If it changes, the stock becomes obsolete. Telecom became very bad because of government policy or Supreme Court judgment. So we need to move on. So many times we cannot fight the market. Fighting the market is of no use. If our stock is not performing, if the reason is genuine and it will take a very long time, maybe 5 years, 10 years, and we cannot sit idle for that time period, it is better to take some losses and move on and move to a sector which will perform. For example, hotel. I like Indian hotel. Now they have about 20,000 rooms. They are working on asset light model. Their debt is hardly 1,200 crores. I like the stock, but at least for 2-3 years it is not going to perform. So let the economy pick up, then I will get into that. Till then I would wait. I would see how they perform. They are likely to report losses for next 1 to 2 years, and in that bad time I would start accumulating. So I will not hurry. I need to understand the full dynamics before I can invest. So there are multiple ways to invest. So if you are very good, you understand market, then you can do a direct investment if you have time to study and all. But you need to do a full diversification. So you need to have minimum 12 to 15 stock, but don't go beyond 20 stocks. It is very difficult to manage. The other thing is you can have mutual fund investment. ETF is there, exchange traded fund is there, and PMS is there. These are better way where somebody else is managing your money, and ETF is something which is easy for everyone. For example, Nifty ETF, Nifty Bees you call it, Kotak Nifty or Motilal Oswal Nifty. So these are better way where if the Nifty moves, you get that kind of return. So when you start doing a SIP in ETF, you don't need to apply your mind. So whenever stocks are going out, if the performance is not there, Nifty is rebalanced every 6 months. So good stocks come in. So Nifty always gives over a period of time good returns. So there are multiple ways to invest, but protecting capital is the most important. These are few books where it is very good for you to read. Unusual Billionaire is something I would recommend. Shoe Dog, it is about Nike promoter, and that books gives you how in 1980 he went and opened in China. The ease of doing business in 1980 itself in China was so good. So he mentions about how he went and manufactured a shoe in Japan, then in Vietnam, then then in Taiwan, then in Vietnam, China, and he says what all the 50 corporation which have gone. So that story I was saying about Kodak, I've taken it from here, that 50 corporation failures corporation. So you can Google it, you can get it. Otherwise, I will send all these books I have. I will send it to Mr. Vinay. So this is for trader. So traders need to have discipline. Discipline is the only way you can make money. And in trading, I tell people, if there is a result 2 days before or 2 days after result, please don't touch it, because event is something you will not get it right. Now, if there is a budget, people buy before budget, but you check every time post budget, even if it is a good budget, market corrects. So out of 5 times, 4 times market correct, one time only market rallies. So the law of probability is always against you. So please don't trade a event. No, that is something we need to understand. And if you are in a losing position, please don't average losing position. You have to be with the winner, not with the loser. Don't put more money. And even in my investment style, I like to buy stocks which are showing strength. I don't like to buy stock which are at 5 years or 6 years low. For example, Tata Motor, never I can buy, no, because the stock doesn't perform. So if they don't perform, I don't buy. So performance is something we need to look at it. So with that, I've come to my end.
Yeah, can we have some questions?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Mr. Prabhakar, this is Vinod from Bangalore. And first of all, thanks a lot. It's a very insightful discussion and presentation given by you. My question is regarding the current situation. We are in a situation where market has rallied and the economy is not doing well, or on-ground situation is totally different. And so how do we deal with this situation? Because we are sitting on a portfolio which we created over a period of time. So do we exit some part of it, or we should exit what kind of percentage?
Sir, holding 30 to 40% cash is something I told in between my presentation. And very important is, see, if we are in stocks which is not going to perform, for example, you are in banking or financials, I think we need to take some money there. If you are in telecom, for example, Bharti Airtel or Reliance, there you can slightly reduce, but not much. No, for example, the way Reliance has doubled, Bharti Airtel can happen in 3 years. See, this kind of fast doubling is somebody's guess, which is very difficult. It is an event where multiple people came and invested in Reliance, it is doubled. But in Bharti Airtel, it might not happen, but over a period of time, it will happen. So if you are in a stock where this crisis has not impacted, I don't think you need to take your money. But if you feel the business might suffer once the full lockdown is removed, then we need to take some money. But for 40 to 50% cash, no, I am sitting at 60% cash. No, but if I say that, many people laugh at me, so I am conservatively saying 30 to 40%.
What about the mutual funds? Because for my specific case, I have exited all the equities. Now I'm sitting on the mutual funds. So how do we deal? Because we don't know exactly which mutual fund will be impacted to what extent in this situation. Stocks we can understand little bit, but mutual funds little different game.
Sir, the important point is we also don't know when the correction will happen, and when the correction happens, how much it will correct. See, when Mr. Vinay introduced, he said, I'm a technical analyst also. So as per me, I'm looking at by December or next January, market might correct till 7,500 or 7,000. So if that is the case, a portion of mutual fund also I would redeem. A portion, not a big thing, because mutual fund is something I don't understand, because my analysis is more towards equity, not towards mutual fund. But I think a portion where if you want to collect some money there, you can do it.
Okay, thanks a lot.
This is Manish. Can I talk?
Yeah, Manish, carry on. So my question is,
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
yeah. So has this market already corrected, or the market will correct or will dip again? What is your opinion on that?
See, my thought process or my opinion is no, the rally is based on liquidity. No, the recent rally from 7,500, we are almost at 10,600 or odd. Now, this is based on liquidity, not the fundamental criteria. So
Mm-hmm.
there is a possibility that we might correct again because now the first time the management or the promoters are not confident. Now, whereas investors are more confident. And I gave a data that 74,000 crore has been withdrawn from bank deposit. So maybe all these small investors or new investors have come into the market. So when new investors come into the market, the correction has been always severe. Now in 2007-8 also it was similar case. So now the data are very clear because many people are working from home. I itself see our volumes have improved drastically in the last 3 months. Now our broking volume has increased drastically, and our account opening is at a very brisk rate, and it is reflected in CDSL and NSDL data also. The number of Demat account which has been opened in last 3 months, working from home, it is very spectacular. But these kind of liquidity driven rally doesn't last for long, maybe another 2-3 months, after which I see a correction. So having some cash will be always better off.
So what do you think? Can this dip again be at the level of the March dip, like we seen in the March 23 or March 22nd? I think it was.
I have a view like that we might correct till that level because the kind of moratorium we have given 6 months, it has never happened. And once that is complete, only we will know what is the pain. And till the economy doesn't open, nobody will understand what is happening in the industries. See, what demand we are seeing, it is a pent up demand. People before lockdown, they wanted to buy, or during the lockdown they have planned to buy, they are coming and buying. So for example, everyone wants to buy a laptop now because kids education is based on online. So for me also, I need to buy a laptop, I'm not getting a laptop. So these are sudden demand which has come, but it is not going to be a permanent demand. So I feel we need to be very careful. There is likely to be a correction, and the kind of COVID-19 cases are spreading in US and India. It is not comforting.
Mr. Prabhakar, I have one question. As you said that you should have a sufficient liquid in your hand so that you can buy during bear market or during downtime in future. Now, can you suggest where we can park our this liquid funds for safe investment so that capital get protected? Like some people say that we can invest in gold ETF, like the gold price will up in next till Diwali, which will go up to 60,000 or something like that. So, or any other instrument you suggest?
See, already, gold has outperformed the market. The rally in gold has been very sharp. Now, from here on, I have my doubts whether it will do very good. But there is liquid Bs, which is one more avenue. Otherwise, bank FD is the safest. Even if it is low, it is okay. But, see, once the market corrects, the opportunity is going to be plenty. And we need to understand FD can give you 4%, but stock market, when market corrects, and then the doubling happens very fast. So that will give you a better return. So even if you go for a low return in FD or liquid Bs, I don't think that will be compensated. But if we go to the other asset classes, and if that asset class corrects, then so it is better we save it FD or liquid B. I would prefer a FD so that you can mature at any point of time.
Thank you.
Prabhakar, I have
Any
another question. Sorry.
Yeah, just one extended question. Do FD is a very conservative return. So can you suggest anything better than conservative return? A better upwards of 8 or 9%, which is a of fixed income, not related to equity.
Okay, government bonds are there, state government bonds are there.
Okay.
They have a better returns, but it is a long term. You cannot liquidate it immediately. But if you are a long term person, you have a state government bonds, you have central government bonds, and these bonds will become liquid over a period of time. Government is trying to bring a mechanism. So if you are having 3, 5, or 10 years duration, I think you can go for government bonds.
But these are having lock-in period, I think.
No, you can now there is a trading platform which has been developed, so you will get liquidity. If you are looking at 3-4 crores, then it is okay. If you are looking at big money, then it will not help you.
Okay, thanks.
Prabhakar, my question was, because
Yes,
I am seeing some stocks which are continuously on the upper circuit on daily basis. In the last 15 days, I'm just observing that. I just wanted to understand from you, what does it mean actually? So should we invest in those kind of funds or stocks, or should we avoid that?
What is the stock you are talking about, sir?
Like I'm seeing Future Group, many stocks are there already on upper stock. Sometimes I see this IRCTC, every time it's on upper stock. Upper circuit, sorry.
Sir, no, you have to understand.
IDBI is also.
No, these liquidity is a problem. So now Future Group, the way they went down also, it was down freeze for a very long time. Now there are talks that Reliance might take 3 companies, and Reliance has put a condition that you have to merge those 3 companies and give it to me in a single basket. So that is why it is going. But see, I have been tracking Reliance before I came to market. So Mr. Ambani will not pay a great money. He is a great businessman. He knows to extract his business. So he is not going to pay a great price. It is visual thinking that investors think, oh, if Reliance is taking, then I will get a better price. He is not going to pay a big price. So I think,
Yeah, sorry.
no, see, the upper freeze stocks, so Ruchi Shoya also, it has been continuously going up. But hardly 1% is the free float. So upper freeze, down freeze is something I don't look at it. I look at the valuation comfort.
Okay. So, but the news about the Future Group is like you said, Reliance will give it not that much value. But I have heard that even Reliance is giving the better value because this Amazon is also in line to buy that. So he doesn't want that Amazon should buy that Future Group.
Sir, Amazon will not buy because you need to understand already they have a stake in one of the group companies. In Future Retail, Amazon already has a stake. And they getting into the brick and mortar place will be very difficult. And they don't want the supply chain. Their Future Retail has different components. They don't want. So no, they will not pay a price, sir. No, see, already Reliance is the biggest player in that segment. So they will buy when it is throwaway only. If there is going to be a competitor, they will get out of the thing.
Do anyone has any question? Otherwise,
Yeah, I have to ask one question.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, you said that agriculture is also a growing market in future. So how can we approach for that? Investments in agriculture?
Yeah, so agrochemical is one segment where Coromandel, Bayer Corp, Rallis India. Rallis India is a Tata Group company, so which focus in agrochemicals. That is one company, and we have Tata Global or Tata Coffee. Tata Coffee is in a direct agriculture. They have coffee estate, they have tea estate, and they supply timber also, pepper. So Tata Coffee is one already there, and we have companies which already have agri background like ITC. ITC as Chopal and MP, Madhya Pradesh. So that model they might expand it to other places. And I will tell you, for Reliance, it is very small. Reliance also has a big mango yard in their factory where they are one of the top exporters. So there will be different companies which will come, but it is very early. But I've mentioned the names which are already there. TI Industries is there, Dhanuka is there. Dhanuka is one company which has corrected and not rallied much. So Dhanuka Agritech, now Coromandel are few companies which will benefit.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, Prabhakar, I have a question. In the current context, what is your perspective on investment in equity or stock versus real estate?
Real estate, we need to understand the kind of run we have seen in real estate. Now, see, equity and real estate are not comparable. So if we have invested in 1980s or 2000, it is very difficult. Those days, land prices were very low. Today, at the exorbitant land prices, liquidity is a problem in land. No, in equity, liquidity is never a problem. If you are investing in the top 100 or 200 companies, anytime you can sell and go. But you take land, the last 10 years, liquidity has been a problem. You want to sell something, you can hear a price. No, my flat, they are asking for 1 crore, we will say 2 crore, we will say. But you want to sell, nobody comes to buy. So it is not comparable. If you want liquidity, you cannot be in real estate nowadays. Because now the new generation, the millennium generation, we are in the older bracket in that, the millennium generation doesn't want to buy a house. They want to rent. Now that is the news data which is emerging. So the old generation wants their own house. They want their own farmland. That has changed. And the new millennium, they want to work from home. They want to work from abroad, or they want to be always on the move. So they don't want to be stuck up buying real estate. So I think after 10-15 years, the craze for real estate will not be there what it is today. So I think equity, you can have a small real estate portion, but real estate cannot be a bulk chunk of your investment.
Thank you.
Yeah, one more question from my side. You have suggested a lot of stock picks, and there are a lot of stocks which are doing well and may not get impacted much in this scenario. So should we, or it is recommended to invest at this level when the market is peaking, or we should wait for the correction? Even the stocks are good. Should we wait for correction, or we can do it now?
Sir, I said capital protection is the important theme for me. So I would say, do a SIP. For example, life insurance or telecom is one sector. I don't know whether even if market corrects. Tomorrow market goes to 7,000. I doubt whether life insurance or telecom or pharma will correct big. Pharma already correction is over. No, we had 3 years of correction in pharma. So maybe it will correct 10%, but 10% correction should not matter. When I am looking at your big growth in pharma as a sector, for me 10 or 20% will not matter. So I will do a SIP. Every month I will allocate and I'll put money in few sectors. When it comes to banking, see, I have one more data. Any sector which is performed in that decade normally doesn't come back. So, for example, what happened in 1990 to 2000, those stocks never performed in 2000, 2020. And what performed in 2000, 2010, for example, ADJ stock or infra or real estate, they never performed in 2010 to 2020. In 2010 and 2020, banking or NBFCs, the financial did the best performance. That is where I will avoid putting money. But stock which has not performed, like a telecom, or your this thing, I think fertilizer, these have not performed in the last 10 years. So I would do a SIP kind of thing. I will not worry about correction.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks.
Yeah, life insurance also is a new sector. So life insurance also I will put my money.
Okay, thanks.
Can you suggest few stocks from pharma sectors? Because you have not
So
mentioned.
pharma, I like Biocon, which is in biosimilar. Ipca Lab has their own API production and they will expand it manifold. I like Divi's Lab. There is a corporate governance issue which has come, but I think once the fine is paid, the company will again bounce back. Dr. Reddy is one company which can do very good in the long term. Aarti Drugs is one thing which has a API, and Alembic Pharma, APLL. Alembic Pharma is something which I like. I would avoid Lupin, Sun Pharma, and other stocks because there is a case going on in US where these stocks, price manipulation is what they are talking about. So Arvindo, Sun Pharma, Lupin, these kind of stock at current point of time I will avoid. I will wait and see what happens in the US courts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think this is such a field which keep on interacting, and as I told at the beginning itself, that you'll get addicted to Prabhakar sir once you start listening to him. He's such a one thing which is different, which I love him about his views the most, is that unlike other analysts, even if you hear this top analyst on CNBC TV 18 or G Business or other channels, you will find an analyst would give the view but not the actionable view. You will still confused after hearing the long presentation that what to be done with the stocks. But with Prabhakar sir, I have always found it is a decisive, actionable advice that finally comes in. How do you allocate your asset is up to you and your risk appetite. However, from his side, you will never find anything which is I would say ambiguous, or you'll find, okay, view has been given, but what is to be done now? Whether should I buy, hold, or sell? But in his case, you'll find very crystal clear, actionable advice. That's what make him very, very favorite, I would say, amongst the investors. So they know what is to be done. Action definitely depends on their own risk appetite and asset allocation. But what you hear from him is absolutely clear. I think there is no doubt after hearing him that what his views are. So I think if all allow, so we should raise the discussion here, and I assure you that whenever things come up or whenever you like, I would request him again to come up, suggest few more ideas in due course of time.
Thank you, Mr. Prabhakar, for sharing valuable information on this group and sparing precious time for our group. And thank you, Vinay.
Thank you so much.
And thanks to all friends.
Thank you, Prabhakar sir. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
I know that it's always a busy schedule, and of course, I have one more thing. I must admit that the question that we ask is always repetitive in nature, but it's our anxiety, or I would say our curiosity to hear you something. So thank you so much for sparing your time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhakar. Thank you. Thank you, Vinay.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Vinay. Thank you, Prabhakar ji.